Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something special. A character that, well, embodies so much struggle. Darren Doughboy Baker, from John Singleton's, landmark 1991 film, Boys in the Hood.
Such a powerful film.
Absolutely. And this deep dive, it's not just about looking back at a great performance. It's about understanding how a character like Doughboy becomes this chilling example of how societal neglect can really break down potential. He's less a villain, more like a tragic reflection of his world. So our mission here is to trace Doughboy's path, from his earliest days, what shaped him right up to his, heartbreaking end. We've got a detailed analysis we're drawing on, looking at the forces that pushed him, especially that moment of grief that just changed everything.
And it's important, I think, to frame him correctly from the start. He's not your typical bad guy. He's what film studies might call an anti-villainous deuteragonist.
Okay, break that down a bit.
Well, basically, he's a central character, but his actions, even the morally gray ones, are so deeply tied to his environment that makes his tragedy feel, heavier, more compelling. His story is all about the harsh realities he faces, the choices he thinks he has.
Or doesn't have.
Exactly. And then grief, vengeance, it all consumes him. His fate isn't just a plot point. It's absolutely central to the film's message about these cycles of violence.
Right. So let's go back. Let's trace this from the beginning. South Central Los Angeles.
Yeah.
What was it about that environment that really molded Doughboy? The film makes it clear. This place isn't just scenery.
No, not at all. It's practically a character itself. And the film, it just throws you right into Doughboy's world. You immediately get that his life, even as a kid, is tangled up in petty crime, gang life. He's affiliated with the Crips.
Usually wearing glue.
Right.
As opposed to the Bloods in red.
That's right. And eventually, drug dealing. This all happens against what gets called a socially disorganized environment, which sounds academic, but it means the usual support systems, strong families, community programs, they're weak or missing.
Leaving a vacuum.
Exactly. Filled by high crime, constant danger, drive-by shootings. It's just part of the landscape. Survival isn't guaranteed. It's something you navigate daily.
And we see his path into crime start really young. There's that shoplifting incident, his first brush with juvenile justice. Seems small, but it's like an entry point, isn't it?
It really is. And when he gets out, there's no ambiguity. He's marked as a Crip. The clothes, the guys he hangs with, rivals to the Bloods. It's almost like the system itself reinforces that identity, pushes him back towards the very thing that got him there.
Which brings up that big question. System versus individual choice.
Right, and the analysis points to key factors. The absence of a positive father figure, the really limited prospects in his community. So where does he find belonging? Respect?
On the streets. In the gang.
Precisely. The material says the community offers little hope for advancement beyond just continuing that cycle. It's not just about bad choices, it's about the lack of good ones. So you have to ask, how much is someone really a product of their environment when the positive options are just not there?
It's a heavy question.
Yeah.
The film definitely doesn't give easy answers. We see him make choices, but under what constraints? And here's where it gets really interesting for me. Doughboy isn't just tough. He's smart.
Yes. That's such a key part of his tragedy.
The analysis highlights his intelligence.
Yeah.
Right? His ability to read, discuss things. How does that fit with the street persona?
It's this crucial paradox. He has this intelligence, this potential, but his upbringing, his circumstances, they block him from using it productively. His mind becomes almost a curse because it lets him fully grasp how trapped he is.
Wow.
He even says it himself. Essentially, he sees himself as a product of his environment. His actions aren't just random violence, they're his response, his way of coping with this brutal reality. It's like he becomes institutionalized by the street.
Institutionalized by the street. That's powerful. It's not just a choice anymore. It's his whole way of thinking.
It really is. It's ingrained.
So you mentioned he's articulate about being a product of his environment. Are there specific moments where that intelligence really shines through, maybe offering a glimpse of what could have been? Because outwardly, he seems completely submerged in that life.
Oh, absolutely. That conversation with Trey where he lays out that whole product of his environment idea, it's incredibly self-aware. He's not just reacting, he's analyzing his own situation.
But that awareness doesn't save him.
No, and that's the heartbreaking part. The systemic weight is just too much. So as an adult, what does he do? He continues the life. He lives with his mom, sure, but his focus is dealing crack from the porch, drinking with his crew. The analysis really paints that picture. It's his job, his social life, everything, a closed loop.
So the street life defines him completely, even knowing deep down there's more to him.
Exactly. And that sense of being institutionalized, that belief that there are no other real paths, it stops him from even looking for a way out. He understands the cycle intellectually, but he's stuck in it.
Which leads us to that devastating turn.
Yeah.
The tragic transformation, as the analysis calls it. Ricky's murder. His half-brother killed by Ferris, a rival blood. This is the absolute pivot point.
Yeah, Ricky's death just shatters him and breaks through that tough exterior. And the change we see, it's not about finding redemption, finding a better way. No, the analysis calls it a grim acknowledgement of the hopelessness of his circumstances.
So less a change of heart. More. Doubling down on the despair.
Kind of, yeah. It's like he shifts from just surviving the violence to actively engaging with it, perpetuating it. His grief fuels this incredibly destructive purpose. It's tragic irony, really.
And the response is immediate. Brutal. He gathers his crew, hunts down the guys responsible, he's in the drive-by, and then he personally executes the leader and the one who killed Ricky. The analysis is blunt. This act seals his fate. No going back.
None. It's like something out of an old tragedy. He's seeking revenge, but in doing so, he becomes the violence he hates, ensuring his own destruction. And that intelligence we talked about, it almost makes it worse. Like, he knows the weight of what he's doing.
Which makes that final conversation with Trey just gut-wrenching. After the revenge, they talk, and Doughboy's perspective has shifted again. He's not just the angry gangster anymore. There's this clarity.
Yeah, a terrible clarity. It's fascinating how articulate he becomes about the whole bleak cycle of violence and despair. He tells Trey straight up he knows there will be consequences. He gets it. He recognizes his lifestyle has locked him into a self-destructive fate.
Wow. So he sees it coming.
Completely. It's this moment of profound, painful insight, but it's too late. He sees the cage, but the door's already slammed shut. He's not fighting it anymore. He's resigned.
And then he delivers that line.
Yeah.
One of the most memorable is the film. He tells Trey, either they don't know, don't show, or don't care about what's going on in the hood. That hits hard.
It really does. It's pure bitterness, yeah, but it's also this incredibly sharp indictment of society's indifference. He's saying his brother's life, all the lives lost like his, they just don't matter to the outside world. Just another statistic.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. And that quote, it just perfectly captures the film's wider social commentary. Here's Doughboy, the gangster, understanding systemic neglect better than many people in power. It makes you ask, right? How does this final realization, this clear-eyed view of his own end, hammer home the film's point about being trapped?
He gets the wisdom, but only when it's too late to use it.
Precisely. He understands the mechanics of his own destruction, but he's already pulled the lever. It's a cruel kind of enlightenment. It highlights the tragedy. The wisdom comes, but the path is set.
It really feels like the film is saying that sometimes, even with awareness, the forces are just too big. Tree gets out, he walks away from that final scene.
Right, Tree makes that conscious choice not to continue the cycle.
But Doughboy, by acting on that grief, that vengeance, he can't walk away.
No. For all his smarts, all his late-stage clarity, he's consumed by it. He sees the truth. But the momentum of his life, the sheer weight of that loss, it's unstoppable.
So, wrapping this up, Doughboy's journey, the film doesn't flinch. The epilogue is stark. That title card, killed 2 weeks after burying Ricky. Just
brutal, but powerful. It drives home the film's core theme. That cycle of violence is relentless. It is inescapable if you stay in it. Unlike Trey, who finds an escape route, Doughboy succumbs. His story is this a potent warning, really, a testament to needing to leave that life behind for any chance at a future.
he finally understood the cycle.
He did, but way too late. The clarity arrived just as the consequences became unavoidable.
So for you listening,
True.
Doughboy's story, it's more than just a movie character. It's a stark reminder of those environmental pressures, the devastating cost when realization comes too late in these cycles of violence. His intelligence, his pain.
Yeah.
It makes his end feel so profound.
Absolutely. And it leaves us with a tough question, doesn't it? What's the balance? Individual responsibility versus society's role in providing real alternatives, real pathways out before it gets to that point. Doughboy's story still resonates because it forces us to look past the actions to the systems underneath that shape lives and sometimes tragically seal fates.